All right, and we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL Saint. It's the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I hope y'all are doing good. It is Tuesday. Oh man, sorry about all the confusion with the thumbnails and stuff like that. I had a show lined up today at 1 p.m. and the person I was going to interview got sick. I hope it's not the beer bug, but they woke up. They're feeling really bad, sore throat. You know what I mean? Stuffy head, all that. Sounds like just a regular cold, but, you know, I was like, yo, man, just get some rest. Just get some rest. Ain't nobody tripping. It ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't that serious. Just get some rest. So couldn't do that show. And I always have one on standby, and this is the standby show right here. We want to talk about student loan debt, man. Should student loan debt be canceled, paid for by the government? Should it all be forgiven? And shout out to Miss AKA lady on this topic, because her and I, we were going back and forth, kind of debating this very topic. Of course, she was pro, I was against. You know, I don't think the government should pay it. There are people out there who think that they do. So you guys are here. Hopefully we'll get a nice, a good back and forth going about the topic. There she is. Miss AKA lady is in the house. What's good? What is good? And I'm sitting here trying to get my horn. There it is. Act Ozzy's also in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you. That was for you as well. Sorry, y'all, I had to start late. It is school just got started, and my daughter has a tutor that comes sees her twice a week. Today was the day, and I lightweight forgot. I thought it was next week. But anyway, we had to square that away first because, you know, my daughter is definitely number one. Number one priority. That's the reason I'm here doing what I do. And and then I am in the loft. So I don't want to broadcast while they're studying, doing their thing. Like when my daughter's being tutored, you know, is get the house nice and quiet so they can take care of their business and get done whatever needs to get done. So yeah. So I apologize for being late. Y'all know I hate running late. I hate it. But you know, once we're back into school, I can get into a schedule when I know what it is. You know what I mean? So instead of starting at 6, for instance, I can start at 6:15, and that gives plenty of time to do that. You guys heard that because my daughter's downstairs now. She can have her snacks and do whatever she needs to do because that's her number one stall tactic when she comes home. It's time to use, you know, tutor's here trying to get going, and she wants to start eating and making stuff and doing snacks. It's a stall tactic. It burns me up. It's like, nope, get over here and start working. That's when you get a little bit of old school papa. We ain't having this. Nah, that might work with other people. That ain't gonna work over here. Those snacks will be sitting there. You can eat your little peanut butter and jelly sandwich when you're done. So we got brother Mike in the house. What's good, brother? Welcome. Always coming through, making it happen. I appreciate it. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, and this is a pretty good topic. I was talking to some of my peoples, bouncing the idea off of them, got into some pretty good debates over this. Candace M is in the house. Oh my goodness, what's good? I'm gonna wear this button out. Candace M is in the house. What's good? Good to see you. Always over there on the Fresh and Fit platform, working hard. Had a couple really good episodes, man. It's the day episode part 2 yesterday was really good. I forget the name of the brother who came in, was talking about buying real estate, buying multifamily properties, different strategies. That was a really good episode. I know brother Mike was there. I know Sister Candace was in there, but for those who aren't part of that world, Fresh and Fit has a lot more than just talking to crazy, having emotional debates with young women. Let's say it's a lot more than just that. Right. It's a lot more than the clips that you see. There's a lot going on over there when it comes to finance and fitness and mindset. And yeah, that show yesterday was fire. I ain't gonna lie. Fire. Had me thinking like, okay. Like the dude they had on there was going hard with his, doing 4 properties a month. That was insane. But the strategy behind it makes a lot of sense, especially now that we're in an environment where the, interest rates are going up. Looks like they're going to probably stay up, if not rise a little bit more, maybe a few more basis points as we continue to fight our way through this recession. And people are like, well, why do we have a recession? Because we were giving away so much money, printing up so much money, right? STEMI money and all this kind of stuff. And then people want to also wipe clean student loan debt as if, oh, that's not any money involved. It is money involved. There is money involved. Ain't none of it free. That money has to come from somewhere. So I got my notes here, and I got a few articles lined up, man. So let's just get right into it. And this is, it's not the one I want. Bam, there's the one I want. Here's the first article. And this is CNN Politics. And it talks about Biden administration cancels another $3.9 billion in student loan debt for former nonprofit college students. And this was August 16th. So today. So that's Washington, CNN. The Department of Education said Tuesday it will cancel $3.9 billion in student loan debt for 208,000 students who attended the now defunct for-profit ITT Technical Institute, bringing the total amount of loan discharges approval under President Joe Biden to nearly $32 billion. That's a lot of money. Now, we all know ITT. I'm pretty sure, especially people in their 40s and older, remember seeing the ITT commercials everywhere. And I will concede the fact that there was a huge push for those people born, I guess, Gen Xers to go to college. There was a huge push from everyone, from the teachers, right, to your parents, your aunts, your uncles, family members, administration, counselors. Everyone said, go to college and you're going to make all this money. Go to college, go to college, go to college. Tia Kiki's in the house. What's good, love? I see you. Yes, please like the video. Good to see you. And Tia, we're talking about college loan debt. Should the government be paying that stuff out? So ITT Tech, huge for-profit college, people were going. They were getting the money and they were going. And it seemed that this particular college was backed, I guess, sanctioned by the federal government. So some former ITT Tech students were already eligible for debt cancellation, but now the department will automatically cancel all remaining federal student loan debt that borrowers took on to attend the school from January 1st, 2005 through its closure in 2016. 2005. I want to say that ITT Tech was around long before then, but I guess they had to set up some parameters. ITT Tech shut down shortly after the government pulled the plug on its federal funding because it had failed to show it was in compliance with certain accreditation standards. At the time, the school was the subject of several state and federal probes over its recruitment tactics, lending practices, and job placement figures. It is time for students to for student borrowers to stop shouldering the burden from ITT's years of lies and false promises, said Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona in a statement Tuesday. So, I mean, that's the political side of it. Oh, we're finally going to do all these good things. Come on now. The government knew they was fleecing people from the beginning. But it seems that ITT Tech was not playing by the rules. And they were just getting money like all people do, man. Greed is a thing. It's a thing. Miss AKA lady, I know she's going to be all in on this one. A huge push. It absolutely was a huge push to get people in school to take on this debt. You know what I mean? And I will definitely concede that fact. T is like, hey, King talking to Brother Michael. Brother Michael. You know what I mean? I see you in there, Brother Michael. Getting some love from Tia.
Holla, 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 holla. Let me holler at
you. Yeah. Let me holler at you. You shoot your game, Brother Mike. Make that happen. But we know Tia just showing love. She married, ain't going down like that. But hey, holla, holla, holla. Holla, 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 holla. You know what I mean? So the evidence showed for years that ITT's leaders intentionally misled students about the quality of the program in order to profit off federal student loan programs with no regard for the hardship it would cause. Hey, man. Yeah, greed. Greed's a big thing, bro. Greed is a thing, man. That's where you got to do your due diligence. People will sell you a bridge. People will sell you a bridge. Yeah. Y'all could call me a fool. You know, it's all love in here. I feel you can't like you a fool. Yeah, I'm a fool. I'm a fool all kind of ways. I got nothing but love for you. You can say what you want to me. We all family here. This is all day ones in here, so we can say what we want to say. Ladies, y'all want to know what it's like to be in the locker room. This is the locker room right here. You know what I mean? So it's all about that. Shots to be fired in here all day. This is what it'll sound like. Yeah. Get some. We don't play. I got nothing but love for y'all. And real quick, before we get deep into this, Fresh and Fit, man, they're over 850,000 subs, man. So they getting there. Looks like they're gonna be closing in on 1 million subs real quick. Candace, you got to get there. Got to get you and your husband down there to Miami. T, I hope you make it out to Miami too. Would love to have a drink with you guys. Absolutely love to have a drink with you guys. Brother Mike is coming to Tampa soon, so I'm gonna have a drink with him here in Tampa. So I ain't worried about him as much. But yeah, definitely, you know, Candace, when we start getting close, what's up? We got to talk. You know, we work it out, get y'all down there. Like I said, that's my word. So, who is eligible for student debt relief? Former ITT Tech students with federal student loans are eligible for the cancellation even if they have not previously applied for relief under the Department of Education's Borrow Defense to Repay program, which offers cancellations to those who can show they have been defrauded or misled by their colleges. I didn't know this program was out there. I wonder what you have to show. Like if you went to the University of Cincinnati, you know what I mean? I doubt if that will help you. You know what I mean? You got a degree and you just not making as much money as you thought you were. Whatever. I don't know. We'll see that. But for DeBry, ITT Tech, all these other Phoenix universities or wherever they got out there right now, all that for-profit stuff. And they pick on ITT and all these other places, but all these colleges are for-profit, it seems, man, except for your, junior colleges and stuff like that. But, we'll see. There may be some former ITT Tech students with outstanding debt who were not eligible because they attended the schools prior to, January 2005. I thought the school's been around for a long time. So it's a lot of people who went to these programs and got fleeced and still can't get any help through this particular program, which, is what it is. It's unclear how quickly borrowers will be notified about whether their debt will be canceled. The Department of Education first needs to notify borrowers' student loan service before the cancellation is processed. So they got to let the financial institution know first and then let the student know. On a call with reporters Tuesday, department officials will not give an exact timeline for ITT Tech students, but some former Corinthian College students who were granted debt relief in June have already seen their debt canceled, said federal student aid chief Richard Cordry. Oh, okay. So it seems like it's pretty quick. He added that eligible ITT Tech borrowers would not have to pay anything more on their loan, even if the pandemic-related pause on payment expires before they receive full cancellation. The federal loan borrowed to attend ITT Tech will remain in forbearance. Okay, whether the president extends it or not. Again, I think it's been extended twice already. Once or twice already, I'm not sure. I haven't been following this like a hawk, so because I paid my student debt, looks like I shouldn't have. Should have just held on to it, and I could have wrote it all off later. The Department of Education also announced Tuesday that it will formally notify DeVry University that it is required to pay millions of dollars for previously approved student debt cancellations. For about 1,800 of its students, DeVry University is still operating, and the government wants to recoup the cost of the student loan discharge from the institution. It is difficult for the government to get back money from colleges like ITT Tech that have already shut their doors, Cordry say, which that's crazy. That's the way out for them. Hey, we no longer exist. Boom, we're out of here. Bankruptcy or whatever chapter or whatever they got to do to close that corporation and everyone is off and running, which again is part of the hustle. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. DeVry University has received a notice and is reviewing it. According to the statement the school sent to CNN on Tuesday, we continue to believe the department mischaracterizes DeVry's calculation and disclosure of graduate outcomes in certain advertising, and we do not agree with the conclusions they reached. I mean, here's the thing, man. I remember seeing those commercials for DeVry, and it's like, yo, it is what it is, man. That seemed like a hustle to me. Right? It seemed like a hustle to me. I'm just saying. Brother Jason's in the house. What's good, bro? How you feeling? Welcome. Good to see you again. And that's for Brother Jason, Miss Globe Girl, Crunk, One Bear, all y'all, man. Welcome. Thanks for coming through here. We're probably going to have a lively discussion today. I'm definitely going to put the chat. I'm going to drop the link for the chat for those who want to jump up and actually, talk to me about it. And Brother Jason, like, I went to ITT. Hey, man, if you borrow money for it, you can probably get it back. Oh, he's like, they've already removed the loans from my files. All right, cool. That's what's up. That sounds like it was pretty quick. They ain't playing around. Like, when the government decides to do something, they can move on it when they want to move on it. You know what I mean? When they drag their feet, they drag their feet. It is what it is. Crunk One Beer was good. Welcome. You know what I mean? And again, thank y'all so much for coming through. I really do appreciate it. It doesn't seem like much to most people, man, but y'all make my day. We come and we had these conversations. And y'all remember that troll I had? The general the other day was still trying to troll in the comments of the that episode about when the feds come see you. I'm starting to believe, like, is that a bot? Is that like Russia? Right? Because nothing else. It's like nothing. None of my other stuff. Got 100 videos already. It was in nothing else. They just wanted to jump on that Trump thing, which I thought was hilarious. Could be a bot. Could be Boris. Be Boris and Sasha and Tasha over there, pulling for Mother Russia, trying to break America. Brotherization, they put 46,000 on my shit. Oh, wow. Twice. Wow. That's crazy. I wonder, how long did it take for you to fight that and get that white, bro? That's crazy. That's man, did they put a mask on? Because that is definitely robbery. That is definitely robbery. Yes, please hit the like button, y'all. Please. Yeah, Jay Swans was calling him, General Mills. Yeah, it could be a bot. I ain't lying, y'all. Could be a bot. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to see if bam, there it is. I just dropped a link, y'all. If anybody wants to jump up and join this conversation verbally, it's there. We'll continue with the article. Biden weighs broad student debt cancellation. Oh, so he's thinking about it. He weighs he's weighing a broader student debt cancellation policy. You know what I mean? So, like, we'll see what's up. Biden is expected to announce by the end of August whether he will more broadly cancel student loan debt for the 43 million federal student loan borrowers. That's a lot. Key Democratic lawmakers, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, big names, household names in politics. Guess what? They're bought and paid for. I guarantee you they are millionaires. Have been calling on Biden to cancel $50,000 per borrower, but Biden has consistently pushed back on canceling that much, and has suggested that he will support wiping away $10,000 per borrower, in line with the pledge he made on the campaign trail in 2020. All right, so it doesn't sound like when they say all this debt cancellation, it doesn't sound like they want to cancel all of it. They just want to throw the people who got caught up in that system a bone. Okay. Until now, Biden has taken a more targeted approach to student debt relief. His administration has authorized the cancellation of nearly $32 billion so far. That's a lot of money, y'all. That's nothing to sneeze at, but it's a drop in the bucket for for the feds. With the amount of money we spend on different programs, not only domestically but internationally, that's like probably no money, more than any other administration. Largely for borrowers who were defrauded by their for-profit colleges and for permanently disabled borrowers. You know what I mean? So they were picking on the disabled as well, man. That's crazy. So it looks like they were just going after these colleges, for-profit colleges were doing everything they can to get the direct government money. They didn't really care if they helped you, educate you, get you a better job. They didn't care about that. They just wanted to make sure that they can get that Fed money like everybody else. That's terrible. He has also temporarily expanded the public service loan forgiveness program that forgives the debt of government and nonprofit workers after 10 years of payments, and made changes to the income-driven repayment plan bringing millions of borrowers closer to forgiveness. That sounds like a really good plan right there. This public service loan forgiveness program. I'm certain that includes teachers, law enforcement. I wonder if that includes public defendants. It has to. Huh? And it's like that's some good stuff. Brother Jason said it took 5 months to get it off. Had it drop. I had it dropped in 2019. Took 5 years to get it done. Good thing you followed that up. Under the law, the government was obligated to discharge the debt. These announcements are false flags to those really seeking broad debt removal. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Under the law, huh? So the government, once the government sanctions or backs one of these for-profit colleges, if it turns out the college is full of shit, or they I guess they lose their status because they're not performing at a level that the government mandates, then the government has to pay that money, and they'll probably have to go after the colleges to get whatever money they paid. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me when I'm just thinking about it. Jay Swans is in the house. What's good, bro? Just got off the phone with him. No, they shouldn't pay their loans off. They took the loan and signed a promise to pay. Adult decisions have adult consequences. Yep, we're going to get into that. Right. We're just right now, bro. We're just reading this article. This thing that they have in CNN that says that Biden did. And we're just kind of kicking that can around, trying to figure out where it was coming, where this was coming from. So I'm going to continue with the article. Biden has also extended the pandemic-related pause on federal student loan payments several times. Wow, several times. I thought it was just like only 2 or 3 times. Several. Wow. Borrower balances have effectively been frozen for more than 2 years, with no payment required on most federal student loans since March 2020, when the beer bug pandemic hit, sent many Americans into lockdown. During this time, interest stopped accumulating and collections on default debt have been on hold. All right. So they just kind of paused everything. Don't have to pay any interest on that or anything like that. Wow. So, okay. And the pause is set to expire on August 31st, but Biden has yet to decide whether he will extend it again. Americans' attitudes toward debt relief are sharply divided among partisan and generational lines, as we can see in our own chat here. We got like 10 people or so. And we are split. A majority of Democrats in a May CNN poll, 56%, and even a wider majority of self-described liberals, 69%, say the government is doing too little on student loan debt, while only a third of Republicans and self-described conservatives alike say the same thing. So, yeah, we're kind of split on it, man. I'm kind of like, I'm with Jay Swans on this one. Hey, you bought it, it's yours. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. You bought it, it's yours. It's hardcore. I was talking to my people, and they were different, like they're different schools of thought on this. So like my first bullet point is like, is student loan debt a trap? And my answer is absolutely yes, it is. It's a trap. Like we were all sold on this as youngsters. You're 17, 18, 19 years old. You're being told by everyone you look up to, the parents or teachers, counselors, recruiters, like these college recruiters. Come to this school, you're going to make more money, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Don't worry about paying for it. You'll be able to get student loans. You'll be able to pay this stuff off once you get your degree. And this is stuff that I was told. Don't worry about the grades. We can get you into a JUCO, a city college or something like that. Get your grades up. Then we can transfer you over into a university college. Some of the university colleges have programs. We can go into like their little, their little program where you get your grades up and you pay. You get an associates out of that program, and then boom, now you qualify to get in there and get after your bachelor. They were telling us all this stuff, man. And for the the small amount of time that I went to school, I was able to get quite a bit of student loan debt because, this was after the military. And when I was in the military, we had Montgomery GI Bill, which was nothing. They had the Army College Fund, which I didn't get. I didn't qualify for. You needed to enlist for a lot more time than I was willing to enlist for. So I had the GI Bill, and the GI Bill didn't pay for nothing. It back then, the Montgomery GI Bill didn't really pay for books, to be honest with you. So I had to take loans because I couldn't work. So I had to sacrifice a job in order to go to college. So I had to take loans to offset that loss. So here I am taking out loans, and I'm getting approved loans left and right. Credit cards and just loans. The money is just flowing like straight to the bank. You know what I mean? So I can see how people fall into that trap and they start just taking this money. And then Jay Swans is right, man. You got to do your research. You got to do your research. You know what I mean? You have to. And I'm just looking at the hustle aspect of it. I'm like, man, life was good for those, that year and a half while I was in college. Stuff was good, but that money, like that, the money that I borrowed, I was going to have to pay that back at those interest rates that were variable back then. They weren't locked in. It wasn't like I was guaranteed, 1.5% interest rate or something like that. Them things went to whatever prime was. You know what I mean? Some of them, if you like missed a payment or something after you were finished, would jump up to double digits. You know what I mean? 15, 16, 17% or more on some of these rates if you didn't get the federally backed loans, if you got some private loans. So there was a lot going on with that. And I had to pay. You know what I mean? I signed the bottom line. Now here's the thing. A lot of people were like, well, they come at you when you 18 or whatever. I was quite a bit older. I was a veteran and all that kind of stuff. I still knew what I was signing. You know what I mean? I still knew what I was doing. So, and Miss AK Lady, think of the student loan forgiveness in the context of COVID relief, not just general cancellation. I don't think of it like that. I don't think of it like that at all. I mean, I see where you're coming from, and that's not how I see it. I don't see it that way at all. But there are some other aspects. Again, like, were people lied to? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Like, can you get a better, with your degree, can you get a better job than without the degree? Do you make more money with the degree than you would without the degree? Right. So, and these are legit questions. So, and I had a couple more articles that I pulled up. I found this thing on some stats on student debt. I'm gonna pull that up here in a second. Pull that down. I'm gonna pull that up for all to see in a second. But we all agree, and there's stats on this. Statistics are out there that, on average, a person with a college degree makes about I forget the percentage, but I think it was for that cohort between 22 and 29 or something like that person will make $22,000 more if they have a college degree than they would if they didn't have a college degree. And I was running around trying to find some stats on that. Right. And then, like, a lot of people that I've talked to about this, they seem to be mad that, it's just like no guarantees. It's like, well, I was told that I'm going to make all this money. Well, you got the possibility exists that you can make all that money, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to make all that money. Nor is it guaranteed simply because you have a high school diploma that you're not going to make any money. Because, I'm proof of that. I came out of the military, right? I got myself a good skill in the military. And, by the time I was in my late 30s, by the time I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I was making six figures. I was out earning all the people that went to college that I knew. And I never looked back. Most of them are still working. I'm sitting here talking to y'all. So there are no guarantees, right? There was so many people, and so yeah, there's just so many guarantees. And then Miss A.K. Ailey was saying, I think interest cancellation should be considered. These were predatory lending practices. There are consequences for that type of lending, but not when it's student loans. I mean, okay, you're saying that you shouldn't have to pay interest on the loans, interest-free loans for college students. I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that. And then the sister Candace is saying, I don't think people were lied to, but they were certainly ignorant to the alternatives to college. Right. We're talking about military enlistment, trade schools, community college. Absolutely. There were. Yes. Yes. One thing was pushed more than the others. Absolutely. In fact, and then Jay Swans will attest to this. You know, a lot of people would look down on those of us who decided to join the United States military. They look down on us like y'all stupid. And then those same people, here we go, all these years later, they're like, wow, you know, I was lied to. They should forgive my debt. I mean, we made choices, right? You say you got to make that bed, you got to lay in it, right? Similarly, credit cards were passed out like condos on college campuses. Yes, they were. And young adults were not informed as to the ramifications of credit card usage / overusage. Yeah, and we really didn't have, you know, to this day, you could tell we weren't really taught about credit. Like we weren't necessarily credit savvy. And when I mean the American public. We just too loose with the credit. Right. And that's why, you know, so many people they got crushed, you know, on the other end of that, coming out of school, maybe having to come out of school too soon, not finishing a degree work or whatever the case may be. They got crushed, and it took them forever to get out of that hole, if they ever get out of the hole. Jay Swan, so if I buy a house and the experts say my value is going to increase, but doesn't increase, the government should pay off my loan. That's a good point there. And then Sister AKA Lady is saying to Candace, like, I remember that. They offer free pizza and shirts if you apply for credit cards. Yep. But that practice is no longer allowed on campus. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of facts flying by. Y'all smart in this chat. I can tell you that right now. It's a lot of facts flying back and forth. And he's like, my grandfather served in World War I, World War II. And as long as the Vietnam War, I think you mean as well as in the Vietnam War, you got family in all those wars. Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? I got family that I don't know about. I know I have family members in World War II, but I don't know who they were. I never met them. I don't know about the First World War. But Korea, Vietnam, and then Panama. So yeah, Korea, Vietnam, Panama, Grenada. I've had family members fight. Now I was in Desert Storm, and then of course I still have family members in the military. So yeah, we've had family members fight in every conflict. To my knowledge, going back to World War II, and I'm pretty sure we have family members in World War I as well. So yeah, I feel you on that, bro. But so I went and I was looking. I was talking to my people, and they were like, "Yo, man, this student loan issue affects people of color and like poor folks more than it affects everyone else." And I didn't have any stats on it. And even still, I'm like, yeah, but still they signed the bottom line. Like, they still took on the debt. And that was my thing. It was like, they still took on the debt. So, and there was another article that I really want to pull up. I think I forgot to pull up. College degree versus. Just bear with me for 1 second, guys. All right, here it is. Let me pull this up real quick. And this is what I'm going to pull up now is the narrative that we were all told coming up. And, in high school and what have you. This is what they told us. Like, you're going to make more money if you get a college degree. Just right off rip. You're going to make more money. So, and this is from money.com. And it talks about the wage gap between college and high school grads just hit a record high. And this is February 14th of this year. Right. So Typical young workers with college degrees now out-earn their high school graduate counterparts by a record high $22,000 per year. According to new data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the median annual wage for a full-time worker ages 22 to 27 with a high school diploma is $30,000. For a full-time worker with a bachelor's degree, it's $52,000. The difference marks a pay gap of $22,000, the highest on record with the New York Fed, which tracks earnings going back to 1990. So the New York Fed has been looking at this. I wonder why, but they have been looking at this going back to 1990. And they're probably looking at this because they're trying to analyze if they want to get in, stay in the business of backing these loans or get out, will be my guess. But the findings are part of the new report on recent college graduates. The report also looks at unemployment, underemployment, and wages for workers with different college majors. Right. In terms of median wages, every major analyzed by the New York Fed out-earned the high school diploma. Of course, there are always exceptions, but some whose education stopped after high school wind up making more money than college grads. There's always going to be outliers. We understand that. A Georgetown University study found that 16% of workers with only a high school diploma earn more than half of workers with a bachelor's degree. And I'm going to fit in that 16%, right? Because I never finished college. I got some college. So, and I absolutely out-earned most of my counterparts with bachelor degrees, and I out-earned a good chunk of them that had masters and better. So, I mean, that's the thing. Overall, excuse me, y'all, this air is killing me. Overall, though, the return of investment on college degrees is substantial, worth upwards of $800,000 or more in increased earnings over a lifetime. Almost $1 million more. So there is a return of investment. There's a good return on investment. There's a good argument for going to college. This is the argument that was made to me when I was coming up. This is why you need to go to college, so you can earn more money. They didn't use these numbers. They didn't say if you go to college, you're going to make $800 to $1 million more than if you don't get a degree. They didn't use those numbers. They just said you're going to get a better job. In fact, they were like, you will be able to get a career with a college degree as opposed to getting a job with a high school diploma. That's how they sold it to us. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the new report shows that some college majors, like those in STEM fields, fare much better than others in terms of earnings. The difference in earnings among major highlights the massive income gap on its own. Red pill people hear this all the time, right? On the red pill side of the world, they're always debating the wage gap between men and women. And women will point to numbers and say, look, men make so much more money than women. It's because of gender. And the red pill points right back and says, nah, it's because of choice. This is why, what's the name of the Jordan Peterson gets in so much trouble. Right. People don't like his answers, but the guy just, he's just giving you the numbers, the cold numbers. And this is what the red pill hangs their hat on. It's the STEM. It's the choices that men make versus the choices that women make. And we're going to see a little bit of that when we start looking at some of these career fields. Right. But that's absolutely a fact. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. I believe that's what STEM stands for. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. So highest paying college majors. The New York Fed compiled data on earnings by major for recent grads and for mid-career grads. Recent grads defined as 22 to 27 years old, and mid-career grads are between 35 and 45 years old. For both recent and mid-career grads, engineering majors dominate the top earning positions, as they should, right? And that's STEM. Like, engineers make a lot of money, right? There's a lot of education there, and they make a lot of money. I'm not going to be able to keep up with all the chats, so I want to show them all, though. And I know I showed this. I'm going to show them all. I know we kind of, like, we were talking about the credit card stuff. Jay Swans was talking about the house thing. I just want to make sure I show everybody's chat. And then, once we get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, which we are halfway there, y'all. Once we get there, we'll be monetized, and then I'll be just showing super chats. Can't wait to get there. Can't wait. Super chats. I got plans I'm working hard for a reason, y'all. I got plans. I want to be doing events. We're going to be doing some good things. I just got to get there. Just got to get there. So we, you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all support. Keep working with a brother. Keep telling folks to come and subscribe. Subscribers go up and down, y'all. Science, technology, engineering, and math. Yep, thanks. Thanks for clearing that up for me, sister, Miss AKA lady. With the noise y'all make, I forget which noise y'all make, but y'all be making them noises and dancing with y'all gang signs. But hey, I ain't tripping. I love it. Matter of fact, next time y'all have a frat party, invite me. Let me be your +1 next time y'all have one of those big fraternity, those Greek party things. Invite me. Let me be your +1. I really like it if it's formal because I got this tuxedo hanging in the closet and I really need somewhere to go in this thing. Got a tuxedo. I need to go wear it places. So let's get back to it. For both recent and mid-career grads, engineering majors dominate the top earning positions, right? The highest paying majors for recent grads, you got computer engineering at $74,000 a year, and that's just coming right out of school, right? Chemical engineering, $70,000. Aerospace engineering, $70,000. Electrical engineering and computer science, both $70,000 starting, coming right out of school. Now, granted, you're going to have quite a bit of, more likely you're going to have you a good chunk of student loan debt attached to you coming right out of school. But I also found some stats on that, on who's paying back what and what kind of debt people are coming out with, you know, broken down by race. In this country, you're going to find that fascinating. We got that. Unsurprisingly, the further along someone in their career, the more money they earn. Right. So the highest paying majors for mid-career goals, and these are the people they've been doing it for a minute now. They ain't right out of school. You know what I mean? Now they're getting the experience they need in these fields. And you look at chemical engineering, they're up to $111,000. Computer engineering, $110,000. Along with aerospace engineering, $110,000, electrical engineering, $107,000, and mechanical engineering, $104,000. Still, six-figure gigs, six-figure plus. Right, lowest paying college majors. On the other hand, college graduates with certain majors barely earn more than people with only a high school diploma. Here's a look at the lowest paying majors according to the report. Liberal arts majors dominate this list. So people just go to school like, I don't know, I think I'll just be liberal arts. And they loan after loan after loan after loan after loan. They get all this debt. They come out with this liberal arts degree, the lowest paying majors for recent grads, right? And you go family and consumer sciences, $32,000 a year. Wow. General social sciences, $34,000 a year. Shit. Performing arts, $34,000 a year. Social services, I don't even know what type of job that would be. Are we talking like social workers? Are we talking about them? Oh, wow, it's crazy. Coming out $35,000. Anthropology, $36,000. Right. Lowest paying majors for mid-career grads. Early childhood education. That's a shame, but I understand that. $43,700 a year. Elementary education, $45,400 a year. Again, we're talking on average. Yeah, there are places to make more, but they tend to be in higher cost of living areas. So the spending power is probably the same. Social services, $50,000. And this is mid-career. Like you've been doing this for a minute. This ain't coming right out of school. General education, $50,000 a year. Family and consumer sciences, $51,000 a year. Shit, bro. That's wow. Wow. Yeah. That is crazy. Jay Swans was saying if you get a loan for a college degree, you're gambling that your earnings will make it easier for you to repay that loan. It's up to you to take that money and choose a career that will allow you to pay. I agree with what the brother is saying. I get that. You got to plan it out. That's why critical thinking is so important. We have 9 watching, only 6 likes. Please get us 100% engagement, please, for you guys out there ninja watching. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? Yeah, gang. Yeah, for real, Miss AK, Lady for real. Y'all doing another Greek thing, hit me up. I'll come through. I got a couple suits. I'll definitely come through, be your +1. I don't know, you know. I'm airborne. My frat is airborne, so you know, our dance is in the sky. We don't do no stepping on the ground. All our stepping is in the sky. But hey, it'll be fun. Miss Globe Girls in the house. What's good, love? How you feeling? You know what I mean? There is no case law that reflect true pay disparities between women and men that has nothing to do with the different work. The analysis is based similarly on situated positions. I'm definitely going to have to do an episode on that because I really want to get to the bottom of it. I really do want to get to the bottom of it. I really want to see, is there really a disparity in pay between the sexes? I mean, I want to know. I mean, I've been talking to, I talked to a bunch of my people, and these are people who know nothing about red pill and blue pill and all that, just professionals, just out and about. And I can tell you for a fact in the air traffic control community, women tend to make less in supervisor positions than their male counterparts. And then the immediate question is why? Like, why is that a thing? And what I learned, because I never got into management, but what I learned is there's negotiation involved to an extent on your pay. Once once they give you, they say, hey, here's the position and here's the offer. This is what we're willing to pay you in this position, because there's some leeway there in pay. And I mean, does it boil down to one gender being better at negotiation than the other gender? Or is it, in fact, well, we're just not going to pay women more, and the women just don't take the job, they go back to being controllers? Or I don't know. I don't know what that thing is. But yeah, Ms. Globe Girl, we're definitely going to revisit that. That's going to be a different, conversation. And I'm going to see, and there's plenty of Jordan Peterson stuff out there, and there's plenty of red pill stuff out there that says it's more choice than it is gender. And it takes it outside of America. They go into like Scandinavian countries and all that. That's where most of the studies are based when they get their findings. But I want to talk about what it's like overseas, and then also talk about what it's like here in America, because we all know in America, man, we got our own little thing going on here. There are things that are just unique to America, with race with respect to race and gender and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be a different show. We're not going to do it on this show. That's going to be a different show. And, but yeah, and I appreciate it. We're getting a lot of back and forth, a lot of engagement in the chats, and I appreciate that, y'all. I do appreciate that. Roz is in house. Brother Roz, what's good, man? How you feeling, man? I got to give you that. I'm gonna have to come up with some different noises for y'all too when I get happy to see y'all. But Brother Roz, who is a teacher, in the New York area, man. Welcome. Jay Swans, I don't know what's going on in the chat, but he's like, I'm about to take my uneducated, retired, mid-range, six-figure ass and hit the gym. That's right. He got to go to the gym. He's got to go to the gym, but he'll be back. He'll be back. You know what I mean? Brother Wise, how is that regarding women's pay in ATC? Aren't those government jobs? Yeah, but they, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to move on. But in air traffic, like when you move into management, they allow you to negotiate a portion of your pay. So let's say that you're going to take a position as an air traffic supervisor at a level, whatever. Let's say like Miami Airport. I'm going to be a supervisor at Miami Airport. There's a process in which you put your name in a hat and you get selected. Okay, you've been selected. You qualify for this job. You've gone through HR and you're better than all the other candidates. Now they sit down with you when they make you this offer and say, this is how much we're going to pay. But the pay scale of your position, and we're just making up numbers here, but let's say that the pay scale for your base pay is, we're going to keep the numbers simple, $100,000 to $125,000. Your pay is going to be somewhere in there. They're going to make you an offer somewhere in there. And they'll say, okay, we're going to pay you, Mr. Jones, $125,000. We're going to pay you the max because of X, Y, and Z. And then Mrs. Jones comes in there. We're going to pay you $110,000 for the same position. And this is behind closed doors. So that's what I mean. Like, it's when they sit down and do that, what's going on? Who's fighting for what? And why is this the thing? So, and I'll be able to talk to some retired air traffic controllers to get some more insight, and then we can run some numbers that we can find just out there. But it's going to be definitely a different type of conversation. Suzette Speaks is in the house. What's good? What's good? I'm so glad you could pop in for a second. We're talking about should student loan debt be Should student loan debt be forgiven and paid for by the government? We're talking about that right now. And I kind of got off track a little bit. We were talking about gender pay gap there for a slight second based on some of these numbers that we were looking at. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because it'll turn into a different show. But welcome, Suzette. Hey, are you doing a show today? I didn't see any thumbnails out there. You doing a show today? Let me know. And let me know what time so I can jump over there and support. You know what I'm saying? So we got the heavy hitters in the house today. So yeah, we were looking at these prices. We were looking at these wages that people are getting with degrees. We're looking at what STEM pays, like the higher end stuff, and then what the liberal arts degrees are paying. Huge difference. Huge difference. You know what I mean? And look at Jason. Now I'm out. Yeah, you better go. Ned's telling you to get in the car, boy. Y'all got to go to the gym, man. You got, you know what I'm saying? Fat boy, why you so fat? You weeble wobble, just like a rat. That's what we used to sing when we ran. Ain't nobody. Don't get mad, nobody. That's what we used to sing when we ran in the army. Fat boy, why you so big? You weeble wobble, just like a pig. And then we just ran for another 3 or 4 miles. That's what we did. So don't get mad at me. That's just how we talk. That's airborne talk. You know what I mean? You're going to hear that every now and then on this page. You're going to hear some airborne talk, y'all. So just prepare your ears. Just understand that's how we get down. Dr. B is in the house. What's good, brother? What's good? You know what? I'm going to switch it up because I'm getting tired of hearing my own horn anyway. But I'll give you a clap. Dr. B 84 in the house was good. We're talking about student loans. Should the government be paying, erasing, paying off people's student loans? We were going over how much money people are making coming out of college, based on, what they studied. We just went over some numbers there. And this is an article from money.com. And the article continues. It goes on employment by college major. The Fed report also dives into the unemployment and underemployment rates. The underemployment rate shows which majors are likely to result in recent grads taking non-college jobs. The Fed defines the term as positions that generally do not require college degrees. Okay, so people who go get degrees and they're underemployed, they're not really utilizing those degrees. They're just taking work because they need the money. The major with the lowest unemployment rates, and several are below 2%, highlight the subject areas that are currently in highest demand. All right. Here are majors with the lowest unemployment rates for recent grads, which makes sense. It's going to be a lot of people in medical tech, early childhood education. Okay. Construction services, elementary education, biochemistry. Right. Okay. So, all right. And those are the majors with the lowest unemployment rates for grads. So people in these fields tend to get jobs. Curiously, several majors with low unemployment rates are among the ones that pay the recent grads the least. Wow. Okay. The major with the highest underemployment rates for recent grads include criminal justice, performing arts, anthropology, leisure and hospitality, and miscellaneous technologies. Wow. So criminal justice. Wow. So you come out with criminal justice degree and that's the highest underemployment rate. Wow. You would think it'd be plenty of work in criminal justice. You would think, right? We keep locking people up in this country. You would think. So, I didn't know that. There's overall median wages for early grads range from $32,000 to $74,000 a year for another income gap of $42,000. This pay gap by major far exceeds the difference in earnings between college and high school grads. Right. And again, this is all going back to, are you going to make more money if you have a degree versus not going to college and only having a high school diploma? The gap only widens over time. Mid-career bachelor degree holders earn between $43,700 and $111,000 a year. The $67,300 question then becomes not only will you go to college, but what major will you choose? So, and again, it goes back to, yes, you're going to make more money if you hold a college degree. I think most people won't even argue that fact. If you are a college degree holder, but how much money you make with that degree is up to you. Like, what major did you choose? That's gonna determine how much money you can potentially earn. And then it ties it all back to what we're talking about, what brings us here anyway. How much student debt are you going to take on to get that degree? So that was the Money article, money.com. I thought that was fascinating to read that. Like, yes, they're basically saying, yeah, you're going to make more money. However, right, you got to be smart about that money. So you got people who are getting these degrees, getting into the real world, have taken on so much debt that the return of investment isn't there. And even though they're making more money than they would have if they didn't go to college, and even though they're getting these careers as opposed to jobs, they're financially struggling, if not drowning in debt. And now people are saying, because of all this, the government should pay my debt off. And that's where I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe you should have gotten to STEM. Right. And Dr. B was like, yeah, I'm surprised criminal justice is high unless you go to law school afterwards. Right. It could be something there, too. Right. Or it could just be too many lawyers. Like, if you can't get into the top tier stuff in law, I mean, that's something for Suzette to really speak on. I wouldn't know about that. And I got my friend Perry Davis. He has his own firm. He's done really well in law. But he's always been a hustler, man. He's been busting his butt since he was a teenager. So I don't know. That would be good. Like, Suzette, if you're still here, what's your take on that? And Miss AKA ladies, like, between listening to your show and the rising cost of education, I do promote military more to the kids. Some of these job salaries don't make the loans worth it. Exactly. And that's our whole point. This is why critical thinking is so important. And maybe this is why they don't teach critical thinking anymore, because they're programming people to go in and just take on all this debt. And you got somebody's making a lot of money off of it. It may not necessarily be you or your kids, but somebody's making a killing. And then, people come and they're like, well, the government should pay for this because I got set up. I would agree that some people got sold a bill of goods straight up. Like, these people, you're young, impressionable, and they're telling you to go do this and you go do this. And they're like, just go to college. Well, what should I major in? Liberal arts. There's the rub right there. That's where they got you. Like, hey, you need to be getting into STEM. You need to get your math grades up. Right? You need to be getting into some sort of engineering. Right? We need to get you in a program over here so we can get you the degree that you need to make that $100,000, that six figures, over the next, 5 to 10 years. That's what we should be doing. And no one's doing that. R. West is in the house. What's good, brother? Welcome. There's a big thing also with the minorities, i.e. African Americans, where a lot of these people are first time college and their families are just happy with them choosing passion degree. Yeah. And there's something we're going to come up here. Student loan debt by the stats, by statistics, right? There's a group out here who tracks that sort of thing. And the numbers blew my mind. It blew my mind. And we're going to get into that. But the first thing that jumped out at me, and I could be wrong, but I want to say that we'll read this in a second. But 52% of all student loan debt is held by white Caucasian folks. 52%. And the majority of that debt is privately held. It's like from private institutions and not fairly backed loans. Right. So, and I want to say that so right off rip, it's like, our Caucasian counterparts are taking on the majority, over half of the debt, but it's not crushing them. And there's all reasons as to why it's not crushing them. And I think Brother R. West was onto something. And he's like, some people just don't know because their elders haven't been there before. Yes. And again, everyone was sold a bill of goods. Everyone was sold a bill of goods. And I'm not saying that did not happen. I absolutely agree that it did. Right. It's just another version of us getting hoodwinked. And again, we gotta, at some point, we gotta own it. At some point, like, shit, they got us. They being the people making money off these loans. Miss Globe Girl, some jobs in the military require college education, lawyers, doctors, and other officers. Yes, it does. But there are programs in the United States Army. I don't know about the rest of the branches, but they have greens to gold was the thing when I was in. Right. So you're an enlisted guy. You're in the military. You've enlisted for 4 years. You can get accepted to a HBCU, a historically black college. The Army will release you to the reserves, pay for you to go to school, get your degree, and then you owe the Army X amount of time. I want to say it was like maybe 3 to 6 years you owe them after that. Then they pay for your degree and whatever you got. It's going to be more time on the back end if it's for law. If you're going to be an attorney, it's going to be more time on the back end if it's for, if you're going to be a doctor, if it's in medicine or something like that. But there are programs within the United States military that will pay for your college. And that was back in the 90s. So, but I absolutely agree with you. They have those jobs. You can go to college ROTC at almost every big school has ROTC, and some of the mid-sized schools are ROTC. Again, you come out, the Army, the military will pay for all, most, if not all of your college, your education, and then you owe the military, for maybe 6 to 8 years or whatever you agreed to. Same thing. Then you come out of that when you're 8 years or up or whatever, you don't have any college, you don't have any student loan debt. You know what I mean? So there were different options out there. And no one talked to me about that. They knew I was joining the military, but no one talked to me about ROTC. No one. You know what I mean? So, and I agree with you there. Miss Globe Girl, undergraduate education should be free with conditions. Hopefully you'll get there someday, or hopefully we'll get there someday. I agree with you. For-profit colleges is a bad idea at every level. It's a bad idea. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt like that. The bottom line is the bottom line. People are going to get hurt. So let's look at what was going on. Let me stop this screen. Let's look at what's going on. How the numbers break down. And these numbers kind of blew me away. And this is from, let me pull this up a little bit so you guys can see it. This is Education Data Initiative, right? Education Data Initiative is where I'm pulling these numbers from. And there's a lot of numbers here, you guys. I just want to jump to the bottom. So who are these people, right? And let's see. They're a team of researchers who believe important discussions in education deserve to start from a place of fact, not opinion. From hot button topics like student loan debt to high school education rates, our mission is to make sure the data surrounding these topics is open and accessible. Now, I don't know who they are. This is educationdata.org. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're backed by any political organization. I don't know if they sit middle, left, or right. I don't know. Right. But I found the data, and I was just fascinated by the stuff that I was reading. It says it was fact checked, but it doesn't say by who. Right. So, I mean, it is what it is. Take it like I take all information, everything I read, take it with a grain of salt. Just like when I read CNN or MSNBC or CNBC or Fox or whatever, whenever I read that stuff, take it with a grain of salt. All right. Completely agree. DL STEM has to be pushed prior to college. Absolutely. We should be identifying the sharp kids and getting them ready. Right. If we want to do that, we should be getting them ready. And that responsibility falls on the parents. And I know people like, well, the way we was brought up was different, this, that, and the third, whatever. You got to do it for your kids. I know I'm doing it for my daughter. You got to do it. You absolutely have to do it if you want your kids to do that. So, It's got .org behind it. They must be trustworthy. DL. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, man, this is like you know what it is, bro. It's like it is what it is. But let's look into it. Let's just look into the stats, right? 2022 student loan debt statistics, right? Let's look at what they have, and then maybe I'm a delve into this. Maybe I'll be able to find out more, or find some other numbers to maybe counter these numbers. We'll see. I'm gonna delve into it. And if I do find some, of course, I'll bring it back to y'all, man. We'll do another show. We'll do another show. Right. So it says while the total student loan debt balance continues to grow in 2022, the annual growth rate has consistently slowed over the last decade. Yeah, because people are like, shit, we can't afford this no more, man. Right, the total national student loan debt increased 1.70% year over year in the first financial quarter of 2022, the lowest rate of increase in the 21st century. All right, so it just kind of this first part just kind of goes into how much, or the numbers, how does it look this down the third, and then they got a chart up here. Going back to 2011, it looks like, and it's looking at the year over year changes. So, and here we go. Like student loan debt relief statistics. Federal student loan interest is 0% for most federal loans until after August 31st of 2022. 55% of Americans support cancellation of up to $10,000 per borrower in federal student loans. 47% support cancellations of up to $50,000 per borrower. And this correlates with what we read earlier. What Biden is trying to do, some elected officials like the $50,000 number, and Biden like the 10 or it was 10 or 20,000. I think it was 10,000 is what Biden likes, 10 or 20,000 or something like that. We'll see what they do. 32.2% of student borrowers owe $10,000 or less in federal debt. 74.2% owe $40,000 or less. 31% of Americans oppose student loan debt cancellation. 31%. Almost a third of Americans are like, nah, like me in that boat, like, nah, we shouldn't be canceling it. Among those identifying themselves as liberal, 78% support student loan forgiveness. Among those identifying themselves as conservative, 39% support student loan forgiveness. Anybody who has student loans is probably going to support it, forgiveness. So, I mean, and these numbers are pretty, they're just throwing these numbers out. Again, I don't know who they are. I didn't vet these people, but we're just going to go with these numbers. Those who strongly support up to $10,000 student loan forgiveness are 28.2% more likely to be female than male. Okay, didn't know that. 56% of those who strongly support student loan forgiveness make less than $50,000 a year annually. 14.3% make over $100,000 a year annually. And I guess it just kind of shows you, people with money, not so much on supporting that. People without making that bread, absolutely all in for forgiving debt. That's what it looks like. In May of 2020, 9% of borrowers who attended public institutions were behind on their student loan payments. Wow, 9%, that's a lot. 7% of borrowers who attended private nonprofit institutions and 24% of borrowers who attended private for-profit schools were behind on their loan payments. Man, it's hard out here, y'all. Y'all know it. I ain't got to tell you. Y'all know it. And let's see, by July, 11.2% of adults with student loan debt reported they were unable to make at least one student loan payment that year to date. Wow. And then it's hard. And once you miss a payment, I think once you miss that payment, your interest rates go to prime, I think, or maybe above. That's where the trap is. You never get out of it. In early 2020, 75.3% of private student loans were in repayment, while 20% were in deferment. A lot of people like, I can't pay this, got to go back to school. So I can at least defer this. Me keep working on the next degree so I can defer this. And then you need more money. So you borrow more money. You get more student loans so you can not have to pay the student loans you already have. You see the trap. While many private lenders offer suspension of payments of up to 3 months, few, if any, deferred interest. So they won't, that's crazy. These numbers are crazy. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. Brother West, I remember Biden initially saying 10,000. I have no idea what he's thinking now. It's still 10K. I think, yeah, early in the show, if you go back and watch the replay, we read the article, and I think it was CNN where he stated the number. And I want to say, I thought it was 20, but it might be 10. Like he's about 10,000 right now. It's like he wants to, forgive 10,000, up to 10,000. I think is how it was worded. Biden has been kicking the can down the road for a long time now. I don't anticipate he will be making good on his campaign promise. After all, he is an elected official. I agree with Candace 100%. I agree. I absolutely agree. You know what I mean? Miss AKA Lady at Brother West. He hasn't approved the forgiveness amount unless you're a civil service. However, he has been approving deferments. Yeah, kicking the can down the road, like Sister Candace was saying. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Student loan debt statistics. Here we go right here. This is the stuff that I was reading. It kind of, blew my mind a little bit. Student loan debt is now the second highest consumer debt category after mortgages. While total student loan debt declined in 2021, individuals may have experienced a debt increase, especially those with private student loans. Now, it's probably reference to interest rates, right? And then until Beer Bug hit, they were getting crushed with interest rates. 15% of all American adults report to have outstanding undergraduate student debt. 77% report outstanding postgraduate student debt. 24% of adults report having paid off student loan debt. Yeah, you can throw me in there. I paid off my student loan debt, but it is what it is. The 5-year annual average student loan debt growth rate is 3.79%. Man, I wish I could get that on my savings account. Boy, these rates, I be looking at what people are getting. They're like, we can't even get that for saving money in the bank. But they can get it on student loan debt. Interest on student loan debt. Right? The average student loan debt growth rate outpaces rising tuition costs by 166.9%. Damn. Damn. That's the business. If you're trying to make money, it's the business you need to be in, right? Damn. Lost my place. Here it is. Public university attendees borrow on average $32,880 to attain the bachelor's degree. So on average, they're taking like almost $33,000 in loans to get that degree. Private non-profit universities attendees borrow $35,983, almost $36,000 a year, y'all, for private nonprofit students. And then private for-profit students borrow even more. So private nonprofit students borrow $35,983 for the degree, and then the private for-profit students borrow $42,551. And if any of you guys know, let me know. Like Notre Dame is a private school, so that's private for profit, and I would imagine that's the same for USC. Those are private for profit schools. I wonder what a private nonprofit school would be. Private nonprofit university. I wonder someone give me an example of that, please, so I don't have to type it in. And then in a single year, 31.8% of undergraduate students accept federal loans. It's like a third, right? And 96% of borrowers with outstanding debt related to their own education owe a balance on a student loan. 88% of borrowers owe for a child or grandchild's education. Wow. This is big money, y'all. This is big money. This is why I don't think the government is going to ever forgive the loan. It's just all the money is owed to them. This is big money. 26% of borrowers who borrow from their own education have student loan debt balances of less than $10,000. Right, and then it breaks down the types of loans. The federal student loan debt gets into Stafford loans and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm gonna pin this later. I'm gonna definitely pin this to the below so people can read this on their own. And yeah, man, this is crazy. And I see it's a lot of back and forth in the chat. I'm glad you guys are out, helping each other, breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? Making it happen. So And then student loan debt among the demographics, sex or gender. I was trying to find it by race. I know I saw it. Here it is. I wanted to jump to this part. Student loan debt by race or ethnicity, right? This is the part that I was reading earlier in the car. Let's see if I can make this bigger for you guys. I don't know how big or small this is. Student loan debt by race or ethnicity, right? Among bachelor degree holders, Black or African American students, I thought that was the same thing. It says Black or African American. Okay, I guess it's not. Are most likely to borrow federal loans at 76.1%. 76.1% of African Americans who go to school are going to need federal loans. White or Caucasian post-secondary students are most likely to receive private loans, with 7.1% borrowing privately. So that's crazy. 76% of Black folks need to borrow money, while 7% of white folks need to borrow money in this country to go to school. That's a telling number right there. Among all post-secondary students, American Indian and Alaska Native students are least likely to borrow privately, right? So they're going to get federal loans, I guess. On average, Black or African American students borrowers owe 6% more than they borrowed, while white or Caucasian borrowers owe 10% less. Damn, that's a staggering number right there, y'all. So I gotta write that down, man. 76% of Black folks need money. They need to borrow. Right? And 7% of white folks need money. I'm running out of room. That's crazy. That's crazy. And they borrow private. So it's like I wonder, are the rates better borrowing private? I wonder. I don't know. But the part that got me is Black folks owe more than they started out borrowing. On average, Black or African American students borrowers owe 6% more than they borrowed, while white or Caucasian borrowers owe 10% less. Damn. It's all the way a trap for us. Right. 4 years after graduation, 48% of Black students borrow and 17% of white students borrowers owe more than they initially borrowed. So almost half of the Black folks after 4 years still owe more than what they initially borrowed. And 17% of white folks owe more than what they initially borrowed. And that's everything to do with the interest rates and all that kind of stuff. Among graduate students, 40% of Black students and 22% of white students accumulate debt for graduate school. These numbers are just, wow. Wow. Jesus. Yo, we're not doing our due diligence as a community, y'all. Damn, I ain't even mad at nobody. It's like, shit, these are the numbers everybody need to be looking at. If these numbers are true. Again, we haven't vetted this source, you know what I mean, .org. But damn. I guess Black could be Jamaican or who knows, you know, we all go by something different. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. When I was growing up, man, it was white, Black, other. That was it. Those are the only choices you had when you were filling out that, you know what I mean, ethnicity part. It was white, Black, other. Now it's 4 or 5 pages. Miss AKA lady was saying a lot of folks who take loans against their homes pay for their kids' school. It makes sense that Black folks have less resources. That's particularly related to redlining practices. Absolutely. Absolutely. I cannot argue that one bit. You know what I mean? I can't. And then Brother West is like, that's because of the interest rates and minimum payments not covering the interest. Yeah, it is. I mean, we all know it's yeah. We all know it's a thing, y'all. We know it's a thing. And there was I'm looking for. There was definitely something in here that I thought I saw that was about who owned, like who owned most of the debt. And it was on this page that I saw that number I quoted y'all earlier. 55% of student loan debts are held by Caucasian or white folks. And I think the percentage for blacks was like 34% or something like that. And I can't find that right now. So I was just kind of looking for that. And they had it by sex or gender. 61.4% of female bachelor degree holders accept federal student loans. 52.2% of male bachelor degree holders accept federal student loans. And we know there's more women in school than men. Among associate degree holders, female students are 49.9% more likely to borrow federal student loans than their male peers. Female bachelor degree holders borrow 4.27% more in student loans than male bachelor degree holders. I wonder why that is. Just curious. I wonder why that is. Female associate degree holders borrow 24.9% more student loans than their male counterparts. I wonder if that has to do with maybe they have children or maybe they're helping out their families. I don't know. But, man, that's crazy though. And I was just trying to find, and I can't find it, but I saw it. I saw it earlier with the student loan, like that's, and it wasn't here. So I'm sorry I can't find it, guys. I don't want to. That's on me for not marking it. I should have marked it, but I can't. But it was. I did definitely read that somewhere today, and it was like 55% of all student debt was held by Caucasian or white students. And I can't seem to find that, but I apologize, y'all. It's not. It's neither here nor there. That's on me for not finding that. But student. Yeah, like the debt being repaid, would definitely help our community, but it would also help other communities as well. But this is the kind of stuff that we need to be talking about. It's just one of those things. We need people don't talk about this. They go to school and you're going to make all this money. Maybe not. Right? It's not a guarantee. And there was one last article I wanted to run by you guys. I'm going to pull it up now and then we'll wrap this up. Let's see if I can find it. And this is CNBC. Let me see if I can't make this bigger for folks to read. This is CNBC. And let's see. This was back in 2021. So October 13th of 2021, more education doesn't always get you more money, a report finds. Right. And there's key points is roughly 16% of high school grads earn more money than many workers with a college degree. Right. And that was touched on one of the other stats we were reading. And how much you make comes down to your field of study, eventual occupation and other factors, including gender, a new report finds. Right. So getting a college degree typically pays more, but it's not a guarantee. Although workers with more education generally earn more, a good number of those without a college diploma are making more than college graduates. Roughly 16% of high school grads earn more than half of workers with a bachelor degree, according to a new report by the Georgetown University Center of Education and the Workforce. Likewise, 28% of workers with an associate degree earn more than half of workers with a bachelor degree, and 36% of workers with a bachelor degree earn more than half of workers with a master's degree. So it doesn't, just because you had a piece of paper doesn't guarantee you're going to get the bread. More education doesn't always get you more money, said Anthony Carnival, the center director and lead author of the report. You can get less education and make more. It's true, he said. You can get more education and make less. It depends on your field of study, and it depends on you. What's your hustle like? You know what I mean? Computer and mathematical positions, health practice, and engineering are the highest earning occupations at every educational level, the report found. However, wage gaps persist across the board. In all cases, men earn more than women. Generally, women need one more degree to earn the same amount as their male counterparts, the report found. And Asian and white workers out-earn all other groups. Man, we were just born the wrong color. Still, your education pathways pretty much determine your economic prospects, right? And then we can, finishing high school puts workers on track to earn a median of $1.6 million over their lifetimes compared to $1.2 million if they had not graduated. We've heard this a million times, right? So, all right, I can accept that. Those with some college earn $1.9 million during their careers, and associate degree holders earn a median of $2 million over their lifetimes. Okay, a bachelor degree holder earns a median of $2.8 million. That's 75% more than if they had only a high school diploma. Although, when broken down by gender, women with BAs have median lifetime earnings of $2.4 million compared to $3.3 million for men. Yeah, Miss Globe Girl, we're gonna have to do that gender breakdown soon, because I'm looking at this like, oh, are we measuring apples to apples? I mean, women got to leave the workforce when they have babies, and when they come back, I mean, there's a lot of money being left on the table because they can't work. But again, that's another episode. We're not gonna talk about that right now. But I will accept these numbers. Those with master degrees earn a median of $3.2 million over their lifetimes, while doctoral degrees holders earn $4 million and professional degree holders earn $4.7 million. Right? The safest strategy is to keep going to school, right? But you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. Brother West, I've always been confused on how it could not sometimes be considered predatory lending. Why lend $50,000 plus to someone trying to obtain a social work degree? They will never be able to pay it off. And that's what Miss AK Lady is always talking about, right? But at the same time, shouldn't you be responsible to know your potential earnings in that field? And that's for Brother West. I know I'm behind on the chat, so y'all probably done moved on with the conversation. But I mean, don't you have to own it at some point? Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take out $300,000 in student loans to be, a third grade teacher. Like, I want to be just, primary education major or something like that, because it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. At least that's my take on it. Sister Candace M was saying, I would argue that continued voluntary deferments negatively impact the borrower's ability to pay. These deferments are often not at 0% interest. Therefore, interest compounds while you are not paying. Absolutely. Absolutely. Agreed. 100%. 100%. They getting you. Now, I mean, it's a machine. They're gonna get you in the grinder. They're going to get you in the grinder. It's a machine. That's why you have to think our way through it. We have to think our way through it. When it's time to do stuff like that, man, it's time to take on that kind of money to do something, right? You have to
think tank.
Put it through the think tank.
Nothing gets past the old think tank.
You got to put it through the old think tank. You have to. You have to put it through the think tank. It has to. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. It just gets back to the old school rap. I mean, Brother West, Miss AKA ain't nothing but facts and things that should be obvious. Hard to argue against any of what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, Miss AKA lady, I tell you what, I had to go one-on-one with her. We were going back and forth. I got to tell you, man, she's good at debating. Boy, I was like, you spin some facts. Although I found a couple cracks in there that I was like, well, what about this? Right. So I was that dude. Like, I don't know about this. And the argument that I'm making now, at the end of the day, we are responsible for ourselves. If you sign the dotted line, you get me? You sign the dotted line. Sister Tia Kiki, Dr. Ben Carson always encourages creative solutions, many times including working with private companies, conglomerates to assist financially, instead of burdening our national debt even more. Right. Inflation sucks. It does. Are there creative ways? I don't know. I don't know. Ms. Glow, she's like, okay, won't talk about it now, but women having babies or provided leave under the law, not always. It's not guaranteed, and sometimes it's not enough leave, but not always. This law is also applicable for men. Yes, it is. Men get to take leave too for having babies. I agree. I can't wait. We're gonna have to do this show sooner than later. I got you, Miss AK. Miss Globe Girl. I got you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Dale saying it was close, but he won the debate. No, I ain't saying that, man. I ain't saying that. Don't get me into this, bro. You about to give me this. This is what you starting right now, man. This is what you saying. Yeah, I just made some good points. Don't get me into the firefight, bro. But the article continues, at the same time, COVID and sky-high college costs are driving more students away from four-year college degrees. Yes, people should be going more to trade schools, y'all. We should be encouraging young men and women to go to trade schools because the plumbers are killing it. Contractors are killing it. That's what I would say, unless you're talking about STEM. Unless you're talking about STEM, that's something different, right? Interest in alternative programs spiked during the coronavirus crisis, just as larger employers, including Apple, Bank of America, Google, and IBM, stopped requiring college degrees. And that's another big thing, too. They're like, you don't even have to have a college degree now. So now your experience comes into play. So, no more. It used to be you can get hired in the mailroom and work your way up. And they got rid of mailrooms. And it was like, if you ain't got a college degree, you can't even apply. And that used to be like, I remember back in Cincinnati, Fifth Third Bank, Procter and Gamble. They had an insurance company there, the Great America, I think it was like a big insurance company there. GE. You couldn't apply to these places unless you had a 4-year degree. Now they're letting you. A recent survey of high school students found that the likelihood of attending a 4-year school sank nearly 20% in less than a year, down from 53% to 71%, according to the ECMC Group, a nonprofit aimed at helping student borrowers. Helping them what? Borrow more money? Almost 1/3 of high schoolers said that pandemic's financial impact made it less likely they will attend a 4-year college, the report found. Students said they are putting more emphasis on career training and post-college employment. And there it is. Yeah, you're going to learn how to be a pipe fitter. Learn how to be an electrician, because those dudes are all making 6 figures, and women. Truck drivers. Like, people are starting to think. They're putting it in the think tank. If you do that, nothing gets past the old think tank. More than half said they can achieve professional success with 3 years or less of college, and just 1/4 believe a 4-year degree is the only route to a good job. ECMC Group polled more than 1,000 high school students 3 times over the past year. So, and there's the article there. Just telling folks, like, it ain't guaranteed. I think a lot of people who went into these, they go to college thinking, I'm going to get this degree and I'm going to come out, I'm going to be making 6 figures and da-da-da-da-da-da. Right? They thought they were guaranteed success. All they had to do was get this degree, borrowed all his money, and then reality hit them in the face like a bat. And it's like, oh, I'm in trouble. Oh, the interest is killing me. Oh, I'm in a program where my interest is low, but if I miss one payment, the interest balloons and I'll never get out of this. You know what I mean? Like that the percentage of black folks who are like, after 4 years, they owe more money than what they originally borrowed. That's crazy. And it's not just black folks. Everybody's going through that. There's people who slip through the cracks. That's crazy. So with all these factors, I still don't think the government should be just wiping the slate clean. I don't. However, I am open to the discussion of what Miss AKA Lady said at the very top of this show. Maybe we can remove all of their interest, right? And in such a program, we can say, all right, all the interest paid to this point is forgiven, and we're going to take that money and place it towards the principal, and you can continue paying on your loan interest free. I could see something like that. You know what I mean? But to tell me they're going to start a program, they're going to wipe all this debt clean. Do I have to pay for that? Are taxes going to go up to cover that program? If so, would you be willing to pay extra tax money to forgive people tax debt? Because I was talking to some of my people today, and they was like, well, they already taking money from me. So if they're already taking tax money, then they should go ahead and wipe that debt clean. But if they're going to charge me, if they're going to take more tax money to wipe the debt clean, then no, they shouldn't do it. So what do y'all think about that? Like, would you be willing to pay higher taxes to wipe clean the student loan debt of those who have student loan debt out there right now? And if you do, right, if you do that, where does it stop? Do we continue to do that for the young kids coming up? Do we pay back the people who got loans and paid them off? Do we pay them their money back? Like, I don't know where it ends. Say Miss AK A fell asleep. I'm not boring. That's terrible. Well, at least, you fell asleep while you're on here on the live. So I get credit. Go back to sleep then. Miss AK A I understand what you're saying. There is definitely a personal responsibility, but predatory lending is not a legal practice. Student loans fit that description. I hear you, but y'all know I used to dabble on both sides of the law. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? In that world, man, like what they were doing at the time, I don't think they were saying it was predatory lending. Like, it was illegal at the time. And then once they said, oh, this is predatory lending, they stopped. Just like you were saying, well, like, oh, get this credit card and we're going to buy you free pizza and beer or whatever they were doing. So you sign up for the credit card so you can get free pizza and beer. And you said they can't do that anymore, right? So they made them stop. And if they continue to do that after, then that's illegal. You know what I mean? Like, it's messed up. It really is messed up. You know what I mean? And Brother West is out there like, I don't want no smoke. Yeah, we do. We all want the smoke, man. Brother West like, I work for finance. I work in finance for construction, and there are so many high paid openings due to labor shortages and trades. Well, yes. More and more people need to consider trades. Yes, absolutely. We're in a housing shortage right now. Everybody's like, it's going to be a housing crash. It's not necessarily going to be a housing crash because we don't have the inventory. They need to build the houses, right? They need to build the houses that people want. These starter homes that Wall Street and private equity and all and investment groups bought up all the starter homes. They'll gladly rent one out to you, but you can't buy one yourself. So it's not going to be a housing crash because of that. If we didn't have that, then yeah, it would be a housing crash. And look at Miss Glow Girl not paying higher taxes. Hell no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, where's the money gonna come from? If we're gonna pay all that student loan, right? That is right. The government is owed that money. That's like trillions of dollars, right, on their balance sheet. That's the cash cow to the government right now. Why would they give that up? And if they do give it up, who's going? You know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to pay for that. So what does that mean? That money's gonna fall to us, right? We're gonna have to pay for it. Tia said the same thing. No, Brother Mike, like, nah, I ain't paying for that. So there we go. Should student loan debt be, forgiven? Should it be canceled? If it means Americans got to pay for it, no. If you figure out a way to do it where Americans ain't got to pay extra taxes, then yes. Miss AKA lady, no, I don't want to pay more taxes. That's why I support canceling interest, not the principal. That will allow borrowers to actually pay off the loans. And I agree with that 100%. If that's the plan, if that's the program, then absolutely. Let's do that. We'll just wipe the interest clean. And like I said, take it a step further. Even take the interest already paid and put it towards the principal. I'll be even willing to do that so long as I ain't got to pay for it. You know what I mean? But this is the kind of stuff, like, how come the people we've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes roughly, and we've come up with a plan, right? How come they can't do that in Washington? We've come up with a realistic plan. How come they can't do that in Washington? I wonder. Brother Michael, if you get caught speeding in your car, you get what you deserve. Absolutely, bro. Not just speeding in your car. I'm telling you, Uncle Saint done broke some laws out there, y'all. I don't mind saying it now because the statute of limitations done well done passed. But if I got caught doing what I was doing, I was ready to sit down for a while. I knew exactly what I was doing. So it's the same thing. Like when I signed up for those student loan debts, I knew what I was doing. It felt good to get them checks. That was before you had direct deposits to your bank. Cut you a check and send it to you. It felt good to get them checks. Right. But I knew I'm going to pay this back with interest. And I did. It got me. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't like the idea of people doing things and then it doesn't work out. And I'm like, well, I was wrong somehow. I was cheated. And yes, a lot of yeah, you can make that argument. Like, yeah, they sold you a bridge, bro. You bought the Brooklyn Bridge twice. They sold you that bridge. But you still got to pay, man. That's how I look at it. You still got to pay, bro. I'm not paying for that bridge that you bought. I'm not. And I'm not paying you a toll when I go over it. So that's it, man. That's my stance on it. I think that Miss AKA lady has the right idea. I think that I absolutely believe that we should cancel the interest on those student loans that are outstanding. And that's a lot of money right there. I think that's a great idea. And I don't know why DC isn't doing that. So, hey, I want to start the petition right here. Miss AKA lady for Senate or Congress, whichever one we can get her in. Let's get her up there and let's make some stuff happen. You know what I mean? Because that makes sense to me. That makes sense. Sister Tia, what's going on? All these bloated $1 billion spending bills signed in the middle of the night with spending on who the hell knows, right? What is the problem? You're right. They do all these bills and they getting all these kickbacks and stuff like that. Man, I tell people all the time, bro, you got to take the money out of politics, and a lot of these things have worked themselves out, bro. Like, but when you have people who going into Washington and they stay there for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, they go in broke, come out millionaires. You know, you look at someone like Nancy Pelosi. She's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, y'all. She did not go in there a millionaire. She did not. You know what I mean? Keep your eye on AOC. I mean, I ain't against these people. I love AOC. Keep your eye on Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? They are making millions. They are making millions, right? It doesn't matter. Both sides, left and right. It does not matter. The people who are doing the country's work are those people you ain't never heard of, right? The people who are not household names. Those are the people who are doing the country's work, and they're trying their best to get common sense, laws passed. They're doing their best to get a balanced budget and they're not trying to just print money all the time, but we don't know who they are. But if you're elected official or whoever, if an elected official is a household name, they're bought and paid for. They coming out of there a millionaire. You know what I mean? So yeah, Brother Mike was like, yeah, accountability, fam. Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in accountability, man. Miss AKA lady, thanks for doing the topic. It was a good debate. Yeah, that's what I told you. I got you. You say, let's do it. We did it. You know what I mean? Ms. Globe Girl, I don't like the idea of predatory loans, taking advantage of people in their moment of need or when they're trying to improve their lives. Yeah, you're right. It's a horrible thing, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's like when you go, you know what I mean? Like when you go to the hospital for something, bro, you need some sort of medicine to save your life, man. You're willing to sign anything. Come on, let me live a little bit longer. Right? That's like predatory. It's like, oh, we can't help you unless you sign this joint right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's terrible, but that's life. You know what I mean? We don't live in a perfect world, man. That's just how it is, man. I agree with you. It's horrible, but I like that idea of the interest, stopping the interest. I like that. Ms. Glow like, yeah, open for all briberies. Yeah. Ms. AKA like, shoot, don't put me in public office. I would immediately start accepting all bribes. Me too. So I keep telling folks that we want to send you to Congress. You better not. You better not. Guess what? I got a price. And I bet you I'm probably cheap compared to McConnell. I'm probably cheap compared to them people. Shoot. Yes, you can. Yes, you can buy me. That'll be me. That Barack Obama, yes, we can. I'm like, no, yes, you can buy my vote. It is for sale. Brother Vikings in the house, what's good? Viking Paradigm. This will be the last horn, the horn salute. There it is. Been lurking in the clouds, man. That's what's up, man. Ninja watching, appreciate the love, man, coming through. I'm finished. We're done. I just wanted to put the cherry on top, man. I don't think we should get people from up under that crushing debt, but I think we should do something that makes sense. I don't believe in wiping the slate clean, but absolutely, that interest thing, take away the interest, give them an opportunity to at least pay back the principal, pay back the money they actually need to get through school. I think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? Sister Tia Kiki, I'd rather pay to help with student loans than for gender studies in Pakistan. Yeah, that's what my people were saying. We're sending all this money overseas, but we can't sit back and help some Americans out. Right? So, yeah, so that's it, man. Well, thank y'all so much for coming through. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Right, we had Tia Kiki in the house. You know what I mean? Brother Viking came in here. Miss Globe Girl, Miss AKA Lady. Brother Michael with all the support. Brother R. West was in the house, man, making some real good points, trying to stir it all up, trying to get Uncle Saint in trouble with Miss AKA Lady. We got Sister Candace in the house. Thank you so much for showing support and participating. Who did I miss anybody? I know Brother Jason was in here. Jay Swans was in here for a hot second. Special shout out to Suzette Speaks, who came in here and blessed us. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I mean? Real quick. Appreciate that. If there anyone I missed, I'm sorry. Brother Roz was in the house for a hot second. You know what I mean? Coming out of NYC. He might be moving out of New York, y'all. He might be coming down this way. Who knows? But thank y'all so much for coming through. This was a solid topic, man. Thank you to Miss AKA Lady. And then Miss Globe Girl, you got another one coming. We're going to be talking about the wage gap. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that thumbnail and get it out there for at least 3 days, maybe a week before we actually do the show. We're definitely going to do the wage gap, the gender wage gap. Crunk One Bear was in the house. Thank you for coming through. And so, yeah, that's right. Act Ozzy was number one in the house tonight. Act Ozzy, but he bailed on us because he's from Canada and probably had to go get some maple syrup or something. I don't know what he was doing up there in Canada. You know what I mean? So thank y'all so much, yo, for real. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. We did another one, y'all. We're going to keep this crunking, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.